What if the main character of this story ended up dating somebody else or mating somebody else instead of the original counterparts of this timeline? What if he actually met somebody that actually impacted the story better than what it did in the canon? What if Deku met Toga Earlier? How would this impact the story? How would it change everything around? How would the character building work? How would everything like this work? Well, you have to find that out for yourselves in this video. And also, if you guys want a second part, get this video to about 57 likes. The next part will be as soon as possible. Thank you all, hope you enjoy. So, let's just explore where we think we can leave the story with, like something decent to start off with. Well, we're going to start off a couple weeks before the entrance exam, just to make the build up a little bit more intense. During this time, All Might saw Izuku as more of a vessel than what it was in the original timeline. He saw Izuku more ready than what he should have been. Like, why would you not give him the power at the beginning, like 4 days prior, so he can at least get used to it? Like, what type of fucking idiot would do that? But I digress. When All Might passed on the power 4 days before the entrance exam, All Might didn't realize the backlash of the power's transfer. A couple of days, we'll have to figure that out afterwards, of course. When Izuku was walking home from his last day of school, Izuku went down an alleyway. In this alleyway, Izuku saw two boys ganging up on a little girl, somewhere around his age, probably a year older. And what can we do with her, eh? One of the boys said. I don't know, maybe she has some use for that villainous quirk of hers, one of the boys repeated. I think we can have a little fun here. No one's gonna believe a quirked villain, a future villain if that, the boy said, as he was about to raise his fist. As Izuku cocked back his own, without realizing it, however, he activated One for All on instinct, and during this instinct, the boy was flown 500 meters into the air, with no way of getting down. As Izuku was about to hit the other boy, as a backlash of energy skyrocketed out of his body as a shockwave hit the streets, as one of the city buildings started collapsing in. I haven't explained this yet how big the aisle is. It's quite big. If you guys seen the Stain fight, just imagine that 3 times bigger. We're trying to make sure they not die. As Izuku felt the shockwave hit, but not the pain switch through yet, Izuku drove Toga as best he can and ran out the alleyway. With the wind pressure pushing him back, Izuku had to push forward a little bit more. As the moment he got to the end of the alleyway, he tossed Toga aside, as one of Izuku's legs were trapped. As the boy who flew up in the air started to descend, unknowns to them, his quirk actually managed to save him this time, and not actually exonerate himself. Well, that would be quite bad. If y'all are wondering how he didn't die from the impact, let's just say he was cut short of the shot. So he didn't actually explode his entire body. We're not doing a Homelander with this one, are we? We go straight through his corpse. Nah, we're not getting Izuku a fucking murder spree yet. Are you okay? Izuku said, shouting at her. But your leg is trapped, she said, as she tried to help him up. As Izuku managed to get helped up by Toga. As Izuku got helped up by the blonde-haired girl. As Izuku didn't know what else to do at that moment, because I never actually interacted with a girl before. His only interactions were be a goodbye, maybe something else at those lines. He never actually had a full conversation with one before. It was like a new experience for him. Like he never met an animal before, like that type of thing. It's a bad analogy, but it still works the same way. As Izuku and Toga were both talking, the heroes finally arrived, and it didn't go as well for the boys as what Izuku thought it would for them. They thought they were gonna get the wrist. Well, they thought wrong. The hero that came was not very keen on blood discrimination quirks. As, well, you might know who he is, but that's just for me to know and you to find out. As Izuku walked over with Toga, as the man looked at Izuku's arm, realizing his quirk was in effect. As the man asked, "Are you okay, boy?" "I do not know. I am in shock of my left arm breaking, yes, but it doesn't hurt too bad," Izuku said. "Well, it is a couple of days before the entrance exam. I would recommend finding the person who taught you how to use your quirk and get it reevaluated, because that quirk does not injure you the way it should. It seems that your quirk backlash ends up being too severe," the man said. "Okay, but what about those two? Well, they'll be getting arrested for something that they've done. Thank you for saving the little girl, though." As the man walked off with the two boys in tow, as he carried them on his back, as Izuku looked over at the girl, asking her if she was okay. As Izuku didn't know this yet, but the girl that Izuku was taking care of at the time, she was staring at his arms in, formate bliss. For in time that Izuku didn't realize it, however, Toga was already at his arm, licking every single last drop of blood in his arm. As Izuku wasn't freaked out, maybe it was because of her quirk withdrawal. And, he was right. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she said. "Don't be. It's your quirk, isn't it? Blood related, right?" Yes. Don't worry. Okay? If it gets infected, you don't have to worry about it, okay? It's the hero's job to make sure everyone is safe and protected," Izuku said. You sure?" "Yes, I'm sure. It's perfectly okay," Izuku said. "Thank you," she said, as she kept on licking his arm. As Izuku finally had access to his phone, cracked however, but he managed to ring All Might. As All Might picked up after the second ring, Izuku explained to him what happened as he arrived in his full bulk form, landing there for his first second before he picked Izuku and Toga up. Just Izuku, I'm not going to say Toga yet, as he bounced off in a blouse. I don't say bounce, I was about to say a flash. The moment All Might landed, and he asked Izuku what happened. "How did he break his arm? How did you break your arm, young boy?" All Might said, the example didn't go as to plan. Izuku explained the best he could how One for All activated, how the power worked, but we all know how this will happen. All Might, realizing One for All activated really early and really immaturely, he started to train his disciple just a tad bit more than what he would do in the canon counterpart. Once he got a hold of how the full cowl worked, he actually taught him this time, instead of this actually activating immaturely the way he did in the exam. With only days to spare, All Might told Izuku just to rest. He went home, as everything else would play out like normal, but the moment the entrance exam hit, 5% through the gate. Just remember that. As Izuku went flying through the gate, he didn't realize the power output he was using was so much faster than most attendants at the time. He managed to speed blitz through about 2 pointers. Without stopping, he managed to gain himself at least 3 points at that point. The moment he realized he was outputting about 5, he decreased it to 3 for speed and 5 for strength. And the moment he did that, he saw a definite increase in his stamina, and his regeneration when he actually, wanted to rest was quicker. As the rest of the exam went as you would think, he actually did decent this time, and not actually completely terrible. As the moment he got his acceptance letter, he was surprised. As everything went up to plan, including the 0-pointer, he still broke his legs. All Might did, shout at him for that, but it didn't work. As Izuku managed to actually get in, his first day and everything would be different, but not slightly too different. As everything went on as normal until the Bakugo vs Zuko events, this is where it changes. We're not going to stick here for that long. That would be the end of the video today. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Thank you all for watching. If you guys can get this video to the like goal at the beginning, that would be appreciated. And also, thanks to today's sponsor. This is what's sponsoring today's video. Use code ONI at the end of at per checkout. Be able to get another one. I do hope you all enjoyed, and have a good day. In a bit.